So, I got on Amazon and I bought the TRONXY P802 MA 3D printer. I'm almost done putting it together. I've got all the frame, the Z-axis motor, the power box here, which I'll go into right now. The power box, you have to hook it up so the fan's up here, the connections for everything are down here. However, on the back of the power box, the holes for the screws are offset. They're angled. They're not straight across. So you can't connect it straight. However, connecting it at the bottom with these two screws, it's straight. These two screws are just set off enough to where it angles the power supply straight up and down, which is awesome, but I'd prefer to have it a little more secure than that. The other thing is this is the extruder, this is the motor, this is one fan which blows down here towards the extruder end, and this is the sensor piece. Now, the fun thing is the manuals for all these on how to put it together and everything is online. And you have to search and search and search and search. And I keep getting the Prusia IA or I3 manual, and that's not what this is. This is the MA. So the parts layout for the Prusia is not the same as the MA. Now, I'm currently watching a video with a guy from Malta in the Mediterranean who ordered an ANET A8 printer off of Alibaba and ended up getting this printer. However, when he was putting it together, he didn't mention he connected this piece, the sensor, to the extruder motor himself. So I'm looking around trying to figure out what this piece is for, and he's talking about how it's interfering with this piece. And I rewound the video like 8 times before I realized the piece I'm trying to figure out where it goes is right here, and it connects to here. Now I've got Phillips head screws in the fan. I can only put one in because this one is offset from the back and won't go through. So I got one in the top, which it's pretty straight. It still moves a little bit, but it's held in place. Now I've got this little fan, which is supposed to connect up here. And it also comes with, where is it? This little piece, which sits on it, supposed to sit on it like so. Like this. Now, looking through his book, it says to remove these Allen wrench or hex nut screws and replace them with these screws. And you put one in here and one in here. However, when you remove this one, the motor pops up and away, and none of the Phillips head screws are long enough to go through this piece and this piece into this piece to hold the motor into place. And these screws aren't long enough to do it either. So I emailed D'Amico, which is the company I bought it from off of Amazon, because they contacted me letting me know that it was delivered, but there was nobody here or the business was closed, and this is for my business, but I'm working out of my house. And the postman never came to the door. I was expecting FedEx. The postman put a "sorry we missed you" notice in my brother's mailbox, which is the box next to me, the trailer next to me, and his wife got pissed about it, brought it over to me, and I went and picked it up and was talking with this lady, Zoe, who was emailing me about the printer and stuff, answering my questions, and I just emailed them about 2 hours ago about this issue I'm having with these screws and none of the screws I have being long enough, and if they could fix it or help me with it, that would be great. The other thing is the motor wires to make the extruder move and make the extruder go up and down, you zip tie together after running it through all the rails and stuff, which is the same on this one. However, I had already put my plate and everything together before I found this video. So, I don't know if you can see it under here too well, but if you look right back there, I didn't zip tie mine in. They're just stuck in the top of the plate and out the bottom, and it's pulled. It's a little loose, but it moves. So now that I know I have to zip tie those, I'll dig the zip ties out, but I have to take the plate off, the heating plate off, which is a pain because it's held in by screws with springs and then butterfly nuts. So I'll get that figured out and put together, but it is a pain in the ass because I've got wires everywhere. None of the screws I have are long enough to go through the plate here into the back plate here. So my brother and I, my brother's a mechanic, so we used baling wire, or as my little brother calls it, mechanic wire, to secure the control panel. I got everything else into place, but that fan is an issue. I got to tighten the cords a little bit, this cord down here a little bit, and then zip tie it into place, and then reattach all this, and then go through and figure out how to wire this up because it's got this little plastic piece here that's in the way of these screws that you attach the wires to. And then I've got all these little bits and pieces that attach to this board, which hasn't been talked about yet. This is my power cord, so I gotta figure out how to wire that into that. All these other wires into this, and then everything into that, and then attach that to this other side somehow. So it's easy to access all the connections and everything for it. Now, the main problem with this is they don't give you an owner's manual in the box that they send it to you in, and it's a big freaking box. I mean, look at this. I got 3 sections of this piece on top. They could easily fit a frickin' book in there, and you could just go through the book step by step, putting the motors together in the boxes, putting the extruder together in the rails, putting all this stuff together, and then slipping it in here, slipping it into here, securing it, and then putting everything together once you've got it all set up and ready to go. Instead of, going by a video where this guy is supposed to be doing a live stream, but I'm sure it's been edited before being put on YouTube. But it's still just shy of 6 hours long. I picked this thing up at 3 o'clock yesterday, which was Wednesday, and it's now 1:30, and this is as far as I've gotten with it. I have nothing else to hook up. I have no power hook up to it. I should be printing this by now. With my own owner's manual, I could be printing by now. 6 hours to put it together. I would have had it done by 11 o'clock by 2 o'clock this morning. I wouldn't have stopped. But having to watch a video, my little brother's sleeping, I didn't want to disturb him. And these pieces are 3D printed, by the way. So the openings here are a little warped. Same on this side. I actually had to hammer the damn pieces in order to get them into this end, because they're 3D printed and they're warped a little bit when they were cooling. The video I was watching while putting this together was for the Premia printer, and I'm watching that and I'm looking at the pieces. I'm like, well, those pieces don't match my pieces. And that guy was putting these pieces in by hand, just screwing them in, because these were actually made out of molded plastic, not 3D printed plastic. So everything went together fine. So that's where I'm at right now. I figured I might as well post a video about this right now while I'm irritated beyond belief about how difficult it is to place one fucking fan right here and not having the screws long enough to fit into this piece. And then, having to zip tie the ends instead of having a solid piece to run through something, and fitting it together that way is just fucking ridiculous. So, if you buy 3D printers, ask about them first. I mean, if the company you're buying from off of Amazon, or the people you're buying from off of Alibaba or eBay or wherever you're buying it from, if they don't answer you back, chances are they either don't care how hard it is to put together, or they're just too freaking lazy to be helpful. The fact that Zoe from D'Amico emailed me and was talking to me was awesome. They didn't answer my email before I bought the printer, but that's alright. I mean, when I was setting out to buy it, it was $169 on Amazon, but the day I got the money to get it, it went back up to $219. So I paid $220 for the printer. And to not have an owner's manual in it to put it together with is a little fucking pissing me off. But yeah, I'm gonna stop now before I start dropping more F-bombs and swearing beyond belief. Once I get it figured out and get it put together, I'll post another video about it, and hopefully I'll be able to start printing stuff off. So that's all, folks.